for me. They are second best. I think Baltimore is a team that they like Philly a little bit. It's like because people think that they almost expect Baltimore. They're going to be there in the playoffs as well as Philly. Veteran laden team with some young pieces. On offense, that type of thing. They're kind of like the same to me, but it's going to come down to what quarterback is able to lead their team. You know what I'm saying? It just Jalen Hurt and Lamar Jackson for that matter. I think the problem with them is they're good, but it's other teams in their conference is good as well. So we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. As we
Yeah.
start this Saturday morning, man, to talk about this game coming up tomorrow. Jaguars and Lions. I mean, what are your opening thoughts? I mean, how do you feel the state, the position, the mood, what I mean, the vibe of the Lions Jaguar. I mean, it's not a lot of sizzle for this game because it's almost a foregone conclusion to me that the Lions are, obviously they're a better team right now. Jaguars, they've been playing, they're just 2-8 is horrible. It's unacceptable, man. I just was telling you on the pre-show. I like
Yeah.
Doug Peterson as a coach. I think he's gonna get fired. And that's too bad because I think he is a good coach in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But something ain't right with the job. I don't know what it is. If you look at their roster, you're like, man, they got some talent a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I like Travis Etienne. I like Brian Thomas. I like Evan Ingram at tight end. Maybe the offensive line ain't the greatest. They got one guy. I think Ezra Cleveland's not going to play. Defensively, maybe the sore spot. I mean, I don't think the secondary is real intimidating, so I think they may be in
It's not.
trouble.
It's
You
a lot
know,
of talent in that front seven though.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Just tell me. I mean, what you think? Like, what is the temperature? Like, what's your mood for this game? You know what I'm saying? Um,
It's it's kind of hard to say, man, because with a team, especially coming off of can everybody hear me good?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, Mike?
Especially yeah, especially coming off of a game of that magnitude last Sunday night against the Houston Texans, the way that they won in that fashion, being 8-1, coming back home after, going with 2-0 or 3-0 on the road,
Mm-hmm.
and now you have a 2-8 Jacksonville Jaguars team
Mm-hmm.
who's missing their starting quarterback, their franchise quarterback. And to start out, man, with Jacksonville is that team is good enough to be winning. That team is good enough to be competing with Stroud in Houston and the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. And for Jacksonville to be 2-8 with that head coach and that alleged franchise quarterback and that receiving core, like let's get one thing clear. Jacksonville has always drafted well. Historically, they've always drafted well, especially defensive players. They have enough talent on defense in that front seven. Are they perfect? No. They have enough weapons on the perimeter. I think they've helped out Trevor Lawrence tremendously. There's a lot of quarterbacks in the league that would love to have the receiving core he has.
Mm-hmm.
When I
Mm-hmm.
watch Jacksonville, because I don't watch Jacksonville games live at all. None of us do. We focused on the Detroit Lions and we're focused on other quality football teams. But he's never the difference.
Yep.
Like they competed down to the last whistle against Philly, against Minnesota, against Green Bay, and they lost all three of those games. An elite quarterback doesn't lose all three of those games. He starts slow. He's a habitual slow starter. And it's frustrating because you watch him and I find myself rooting for him. People may think, I ride down on Trevor Lawrence a lot and I'm not fair to him and I've been giving him grief since the very beginning. I want to see the dude be great. I watch Jacksonville games and I find myself pulling for him. Because you will see him like the Philadelphia game a couple weeks ago. I
Mm-hmm.
watched Trevor make monster throw after monster throw. It's in him. The playmaker's in him at quarterback. He can get out there and move. He can run. He's not afraid to get out there and take contact. He can get the ball downfield. He got a little bit of gamer in him. But he's similar to me, like some people may say, oh, that's a little too drastic. He
Yeah.
reminds me of like Paul George,
Yeah.
almost to a certain extent, making the NBA comparison in the sense that, dude, like, I watch you play sometimes. It's like, why can't you do that consistently?
Yeah.
I watched Trevor get the ball back against Philadelphia, and I'm like, yo, what? Go do it. Go get it. Like, this could be your moment. Go get this win.
Right.
And he finds himself in situations where the defense will get the stop or defense will get a few stops. He'll be in a situation where he'll make plays, he'll make a couple throws early on, and then he'll disappear for 3 drives, 4
Yeah.
drives. And in the midst of you not being the quarterback they need you to be for those 3 or 4 drives, you're you find yourself in a situation where your offense, the team is falling behind now. You
Yeah.
can't always think you're going to mount these 24-6 comebacks. And then you mount these comebacks and you don't close out. The elite quarterbacks close out.
Yeah. He
We
had the
talked about
one
Andrew Luck
playoff.
for years, man. Luck, there's no way Luck with that roster would be 2-8. And we talked about the playoff game against the Chargers. That
Yeah.
was supposed to be like Trevor Lawrence's signature moment. And he threw, 4 or 5 picks in that game. He threw them out of the game in the first half. And then, honestly, Brandon Staley's horrible play calling for the Chargers in the second half cost them that game.
Yeah. Thanks, Turner. Appreciate those kind words. What's up,
So
though?
it's like, man,
Yeah.
and Trevor's not even playing, but I think it was vital for me and you to touch on Trevor Lawrence because he is the franchise quarterback in Jacksonville, and we trying to figure out also what the hell is going on, man. Because
Yeah.
like Trevor in Jacksonville is a whole nother conference, so he's no threat to us. But they need him to elevate that team and be a difference maker, and Trevor hasn't been that. Now you're looking at tomorrow. You talking about what, Mac Jones?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Matt can't move, so we don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that. The RPO
Yeah.
is not in there. With Trevor
Oh
being in
boy.
there, Trevor would have had the RPO involved. They
Yeah.
do run the ball with him a lot, not a lot, but some direct runs because he is a big athletic quarterback. That part of worry for the defense is out of play.
Yeah.
They used to
Oh.
push the ball downfield a lot with Trevor. They're not doing that tomorrow with Mac Jones, so we can squat more. We can probably get pressure more because Mac Jones can't move. And I agree with you 100%. I think this is a stat game for us. It better be a stat game. I think some fans may have some concern because, like, okay, is it set up to be too easy? And the only
Yeah.
true concern is, do we have another fallout from last week where it's another goofy game and we look all out of sync and this time it comes back to bite us in the behind? But no, before we get too deep into the numbers, I want to let you touch on the game and what you think about Jacksonville as well as this matchup with Detroit.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Check your mic too, Walt. It looks like. Yeah. Just what you said, man. You know what I mean? At first thing I look at, especially opponent that I'm not too familiar with, is the point spread. You know what I mean? You look at the point spread, 13.5 points this week for the Lions. I mean, you look at it, you like, man, do I got to check that as, is that a mistake? No, 13.5 is a line for this game, meaning, I always say, in the betting world, if you're underdog, over 7 points, I mean, that's basically no respect, actually, saying that you're the less than team in this scenario. So just what you said about Mac Jones, I just think that's going to be curtains for him because we got a defensive line who's playing pretty good football right now. Aleem McNeil, always a situation where, you want to be able to bring you want to bring the fight to you want to be able to dictate how you want to play, and I think this is the perfect game for us to do pretty much what we want. I mean, just based off our DNA and how we play and how the defense what's up, my marker, appreciate you. It's always like when you look at the opponent, like you said, it's always the threat of maybe running or, man, this guy, they got a really good offense or they got a really good defense. And like you said, man, you just can't put your finger on why, Jaguars are where they are right now. It's kind of puzzling to me because if you look at the defense, from Trayvon Walker, they got Eric Armstead, what's the Aluakin at linebacker, really talented player. I like him. They took Darnell. They signed Darnell Savage from the Packers as safety. That was a guy I wanted for the Lions, but
Yeah.
I think the secondary is what's going to get cooked this week. I think that the Lions going to maybe try to put that passing game out there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because Laporta's hurt this week. He's not going to play. So that maybe that extra block on the edge. You may not need Laporta. That's a good way to sit him out this week if it's not nothing serious, but you kind of want to monitor it. I think this is the perfect time of year to do it. Laporta's been kind of banged up all year so far this season. But when I look at this game, Walt, I just look at the point spread, Trevor Lawrence versus Jared Goff. I just think we got the better, even though Trevor's not playing. Jared Goff should absolutely outplay Mac Jones in this game, in my opinion, Walt. You know what I'm saying? You got a motivated receiving core. Jameson Williams back making plays. St. Brown just does. I think St. Brown would have got 6 straight games with a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. It was a crazy stat that they put up. He's humming right now. Jahmyr Gibbs in the passing game. Man, I just don't see any flaws that we could say, man, that we're in trouble this week. I don't. You know what I mean? Because Mac Jones, all due respect, he is an NFL quarterback, but I don't, man, Mac Jones going to get tore up this week, man, if he just sits back there. Zadarius Smith, I forgot about him. He's playing this week. Well, it's a perfect game to get him acclimated. You can see Jared Goff out there for 300 yards. I could see that kind of game coming because we haven't had it in a while. Good home cooking. We sit here and not 8-1. We enter the holiday season, man, with these games coming up. Only thing I can say with the Lions is, Washington and Philly kind of keeping pressure on Green Bay. Other teams, Minnesota got 7 wins, so they're kind of keeping the pressure on the Lions to keep that top spot. I think that's what you want to focus on. Because right now, I think the only disappointment, and I think everybody would agree, is if we didn't get the number 1 seed at this point. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we get that because we want to go through everything's got to go through Detroit. You know what I'm saying? From the playoffs to championship game to the Super Bowl, you want to have these games at home. So it is kind of pressure on the line. Like you said, man, if we come out and try to do too much on offense and turn the ball over, you know what I mean? Hopefully it's not a situation like that, like with Houston last week, because we are the better team. And the only way the Lions will lose any of these games coming up, man, unless we beat ourselves. Turnovers, fumbles, penalties, just crazy stuff
Poor
like
play
that.
calling.
So, poor play calling, right?
Poor play calling as well.
Yeah. Yep.
I think you just want to make sure, and you just brought it up, and I'm going to touch on that a little bit. Not putting Jared Goff, we for damn sure don't have Jared Hall. Not putting Jared Goff into harm's way too much. Not getting too caught up with, okay, this is Jacksonville. Let's pass some stats. Because they do got some talented players in that front seven. You mentioned Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen. They got some Chad Muma. So they do have some players.
Wyoming. Yeah.
Yep. So they do have guys over there that can play. As you said, and I agree 100%, this is a game where it could, if you start looking at it from a betting standpoint, it could kind of pull you in to a false perception that Detroit is going to go out there and just completely run the score up on them. That 13.5.
That's a lot, man.
Last time we saw Giants Browns, which I think was week 3, was 14.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to cover that big of a spread. Yeah. But in this type of game, I think they could turn out to be another Tennessee type of game where your starter's not out there. And, Will Levis was the starter for Tennessee, but Will Levis wasn't any good. So then you replace him with a journeyman in Mason Rudolph. He's no good, despite the fact that we spotted Tennessee 14 in the first quarter, 14 in the first half.
Yeah.
But now you're looking at Trevor Lawrence, who already wasn't that good. When he was out there, he had some plays from time to time, but he wasn't that good, and you replace him with Mac Jones. This is a team right now that's bottom half in the league in offense, bottom half in the league in defense, bottom half in the league in efficiency. They're 30th right now in possessions, for time of possession. They only hold the ball for an average of 2 minutes and 29 seconds. That's horrible. Yeah. So when you look at
curtains,
Jacksonville statistically, right, everything ties together to why they're terrible. But the offense, no. There's no way with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, supposedly the alleged elite quarterback, the
Mhm.
franchise quarterback, there's no reason this team should be 2-8. There's no reason why offensively you should be 26th in the league.
Yeah,
It's not.
unacceptable. Unacceptable.
It's
Yeah,
not.
I know they got to be pissed. I know the owner got to be pissed. I shelled out this money for even though that's the
They
going
didn't have a
rate for
choice.
quarterback. Yeah, you didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? That's the going rate, and it hasn't worked out, man, for whatever reason. You know, like you said, you mentioned a playoff game with the Chargers, and it was like, they won that one, but I think that was more of the Chargers. Brandon Staley just ruining putting that whole thing up in flames that year because of his coaching decisions. You know, and you give the Chargers credit; they won the game, and I think it was more, the Jaguars kind of imploded a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like Chargers kind of
Yeah, the
imploded a
Chargers.
little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at their roster. You know who one guy the Lions did draft this guy, Jeremiah
Jamal.
Ledbetter. Yeah,
Oh, led
Jeremiah
better.
Ledbetter from Arkansas. Yeah, he
Yeah.
wears number 99. It's just interesting. I always go and look at the roster. Lions drafted him. I think this was a Quinn pick years ago. So yeah, man, I don't see any. I think the secondary and the Lions are good at exposing other teams bad. I think that's what makes it look so bad when we win the way we're winning, Walt, because I think we expose a lot of teams, and I think that secondary gonna get exposed, bro. I think that they think we're gonna come out hammer the ball with Montgomery and Gibbs. I think we're gonna go up top and just it's almost like the 13 and a half point spread. This is what it's like. When you a bowler and you're bowling against another team in the league and they give you so many pins, right? That you got to make up if you're bowling against a team that's less than that's not as good as you. And essentially what that means is that just really puts pressure on the more skilled bowler to be on their game, and then all they have to do is bowl what they normally bowl, and they're going to win, right? So what I'm saying is with the Lions, that 13 and a half might look like it's a lot. Like, no way, I'll never put money on that. But think about it. If we go up 14-0, that's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think we're better. Two we're a two touchdown better than the Jaguars all day long. So you can kind of see the rationale. You know what
No,
I
I get
mean?
it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
But they gotta
yeah,
win by them 14.
yeah, they got to win by
If
the
they win, if
14.
they win by 13, no,
We
no,
talk
no.
we talk about it. But I do expect. I would say this. I'll put it out there. I think they will win by that. I don't see a 28-20 game. No, no way. I don't see.
Even with the level that the Chargers have been, not the Chargers, but the Jags have been playing the last 2 weeks because they listen,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
played Philly, Green
Philly,
Bay, and
yes.
Minnesota all good.
Yes, they did. Yep, yep.
More
I think it's
motivation
more
for
of
us
a
to go out there and smash them.
exactly, exactly. I was just gonna say, you said what I said. We're not those teams, Walt. Let's be honest. I mean, for everybody who's kind of worried about Philly, which I said the experience you have to still circle them on the list of teams, but I think the Lions are way better than all three of those teams, man. You know
No,
what I'm
I get
saying?
it.
I think the Philly's got a world of problems, and that 7 wins is smoke and mirrors, man. That's how I feel about it. So I think the Lions gonna go because I heard a rumor that the owner was like, "Listen, we're gonna see how much how much fight this team has. If the Lions blow the Jaguars out, I think after the game, I think Peterson can get the X, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. He wants to see how they're gonna play. I agree, A Dub. It's
That's
crazy.
bananas though. Like of all
Mhm,
games to fire, all right, so y'all 2-8. Of all
mhm.
games to fire your head coach, you fire him after his starting quarterback doesn't play,
Yeah,
and he's playing the number one, maybe number two team in all of football.
yeah,
And you fire him after a loss like that at
yeah,
Detroit.
yeah,
That's like losing to the Chiefs and getting fired.
yeah,
Like, I mean, is somebody got to be the scapegoat?
yeah.
Maybe it'll be
That's
the
what it
offensive
is.
coordinator first. We saw what just happened in Chicago.
Yeah.
The
So,
coordinator goes first, and then at the end of the season, the head coach a lot of times will go. But
yeah,
it's rough for Peterson, man. We seen
yeah,
Peterson get the job done with Carson Wentz. He had
yeah,
Wentz looking like a All Pro before that
yeah,
injury, and then he took Nick Foles, got him prepared. got to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl, beat the New England Patriots. So he's proven he can get it done. And the Jags have been
Hmm.
competing. That's the whole thing. They've been competing this season. It's
Yep.
been Trevor. When I go
Yeah.
back and I watch these games, man, he reminds me sort of of what early Stafford was, where you come out in the first quarter, the beginning of the games,
Yeah.
accuracy a little inconsistent. You got these weird 3 and outs, 4 straight drives with 3 and outs, and then he'll just pick it up midway through the third quarter and start
Yeah.
making all these big time throws, getting all these completions. Trevor goes through the motions too much. And for a
Yeah.
team in that division, they shouldn't be worse than Tennessee. There's no way in hell Jacksonville should be worse than Tennessee.
Right. Right. And I
That's
see.
unacceptable, man. With that
Yeah.
coach, that roster, that young talent, and that quarterback, that says enough, man. He doesn't get them to where they need to be. And like I said, an elite quarterback doesn't lose all three of those games. Minnesota was winnable, Green Bay was winnable, and Philadelphia were all winnable games. But they lost those games because Trevor started slow in each one of those games. They fell behind the 8 ball, and now you're leaning on the defense that's not good enough to carry you. They don't have the Lions defense.
Hmm.
It's like, dude, this is what, year 5 for Trevor?
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think you supposed to be winning these games by now, man.
They lost to the Dolphins to start the season by 3. They lost to the Browns by 5 week 2. They got killed by the Bills 47-10 in week 3.
Yep.
They lost to the Texans by 4. They beat the Colts 37-34 October 6th. They got ran through by the Bears 35-16. I think that was the London game. I was watching that. It was a terrible game. They beat the Patriots 32-16. Then, like you mentioned, the last 3 games, here we go. Packers, they lost 30-27. They lost to the Eagles 28-23, and they lost to the Vikings last week. Abysmal performance, 12-7. So, yeah, I mean, obviously Trevor Lawrence didn't play last week, but yeah, this is unacceptable. I'd be pissed if you can't lose to the Bears by 20. You can't lose to you can't lose to the Browns. They had Deshaun Watson. The Browns are no threat at all to anybody. You lose that game at home. So,
Any team
Jacksonville.
with even a relevant defense gives him
Mhm.
problems. Now, him only leading the offense to 7 points against Brian Flores and that Minnesota defense, that I cut him a little bit of slack on that.
Mhm.
But because they've given every other quarterback in the league problems.
Yeah.
But still, that it was a winnable game, man. So whether it's a high scoring game or a low scoring game, I still can't count on you to get me to win.
Yeah.
It's it's
That's right.
rough, and like I said, I get it for Jacksonville. He was the number 1 overall pick. He was a generational talent. He did get y'all to the playoffs once. And y'all did win a playoff game. You look at the next round against Kansas City, they were competitive in that game. So Trevor left a lot for people out there to be, excited about heading into the next season. He
Mhm.
hasn't been good since that season. He was
Yeah.
terrible his rookie year. And what happened with his rookie year? We gave him the benefit of the doubt because Urban Meyer was there. Urban Meyer was dysfunctional. It was toxic. Give Trevor a chance. Okay. Doug Peterson comes in. They get to the playoffs. With the very next year, I think they get to the playoffs. That Charger game. And he hasn't been good since that season at all. He's been too inconsistent for them to win with, man. And it's sad when you're in an organization put in a situation like them where we can sit back and judge Trevor the way we judge Trevor, but we both can agree, yeah, they didn't have a choice. Like, is he Mac Jones? No. New England had an easy decision. Trevor has shown Jacksonville flashes of, having the ability to get it done. Mac Jones showed New England nothing.
Right. Right. That's right. Yeah.
Trey Lance showed San Francisco nothing. Justin Fields showed flashes in Chicago, but they dumped him. So I get why they paid him. And we talked about this during the off season before the season began about
Yeah, we did.
paying
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence and do you pay him?
True.
And we both agree you're gonna have to pay him because what is the option? You're not gonna pay him,
Boy,
but you
that's a
don't want to
hard
pay
check.
him. You don't want to pay him what you had to pay him because he's 2-8. Look at
Yeah.
Dak Prescott in Dallas.
Yeah. And the
We got
quarterback
3
play.
wins with you.
Yeah. The quarterback play hasn't been great, to be honest with you, this whole season. If you look around the league, man, you know what I'm saying? Look around. I
Dude, the
mean, it
two highest
hasn't
paid
been.
quarterbacks in the league got a combined 5 wins.
Yeah.
Prescott and Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence teams have a combined 5 wins. $200 million quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. That's right. And if you look at it, man, okay. If you look at their defense, Trayvon Walker is a guy. Yep, Brent's right. I was just gonna say they're
Yeah, that's what
not
we was just
bad.
talking about.
We just said they're not bad at all. Trayvon Walker's got 7.5 sacks. Josh Hines Allen got a 5. Ledbetter's got a couple. Robertson Harris, talented D tackle. I like this guy too. He's got a couple sacks too from the D tackle. So they've got 21 sacks as a team. I mean, they can get to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Up the middle. You know what I mean? But again, I think that this team plays into the Lions' strengths. Our
Hmm.
offense, I think, gonna eat against this team. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that they listen. You got to be able to play both sides, but you got to be able to play 4 quarters with the Lions. I do agree with that because sometimes, like last week, if we don't play 4 quarters, we definitely don't win that game last week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they could. It shows you a lot about our team, about the Lions. Well, and the listeners, I think everybody kind of agree. The Lions could have easily packed that game up last night and say, you know what, man, we
Yeah,
on
a
the
lesser
road.
team would have.
Yeah, let's
Let's
go.
not get nobody hurt. Let's just
Right.
take the just
Let's
chill.
get the hell out of here with a win. It ain't our night. That type of thing. And they took the win from the hands of defeat, man. That's a sign of a team that's going somewhere, man. In my opinion, because it makes so bad. What I've been hearing through Texans is still got some cachet around the league. It's not like other people are saying, well, the Texans not really that good. I think the Texans are still deemed a good team, right? I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. You know what I'm saying? Well, is anybody saying the Texans suck or they not a good football team? I don't think so. I just
Well,
think
they
they
got to
like,
answer
damn,
some questions too. Like they,
yeah,
7 point favorites at Dallas.
they should
Dallas
win
starting
that
Cooper
game.
Rush, and CJ Stroud. He's had some questions he's had to answer about his fourth quarters over the past few weeks, and
Hmm.
they got to make sure this doesn't turn into a negative snowball.
That's right. Offensively, that's what I want to see. I'm saying if I'm a fan this week,
Yeah.
I'm looking at how our offense looks. Okay, that's all. That's for me. I'm telling y'all. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see crisp routes. I want to see I want to see JMO eat. I want to see St. Brown always get his no matter what. But you know what I'm saying. I want to implement our offense passing game. Let's get the passing game going a little bit crisper. You know what I'm saying? Because we should be able to do something against these guys, man. Quick passes,
Yeah.
because they can get pressure up the middle. So Jared Goff does get rid of the ball. You know what I mean? Only time Jared Goff gets in trouble when he holds the ball. Now he was doing it last week against the Texans because man, they came out shot out of a cannon. Man, they were on our ass last week. So and he kind of had to figure it out during the second half. But yeah, for me, what is money lines +5? That'll tell you all you need to know too, Walt. So you can go ahead and take your money, Walt, and go ahead and drop your 100 on the Jaguars. It'd be a good payday, bro. It'll be a nice little second little paycheck there if you get put 100 on the Jags this
So
week. You
basically,
gonna do
you want me to take my debit card and go hand it to a stranger in the street.
it?
Take
you
my
want
money. I
you
don't
want to do
need it.
it?
Man,
Hey,
the 13 and a half would kind of scare me off in any other situation, but it
yeah,
just does feel like the way you broke it down makes complete sense. There can the Lions win by 14? Can the Lions win by 2 touchdowns? I think they can. I
hmm
think they can. I think they covered the 13 and a half. You're looking at the over under. I think the over under gets covered.
yep.
I could see Jacksonville maybe scoring 10 points, 12 points, something like that. Um, we said the same thing about Tennessee, but Tennessee wound up scoring 14 points. I had Tennessee scoring 9. They wound up scoring
You did.
14. But
You
yeah,
did.
I could see in a game like this, I could take the over because I could see it being a situation where the offense is scoring another Tennessee type of game. The defense is scoring, maybe the special teams, a pick six here or there. I can see this turned into a homecoming game for Detroit.
Hmm.
Therefore, I would take the over 47 in this. I would also take Detroit to cover that 13 and a half. I could see somewhere around 35, 35-14 possibly.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm locked up with you, brother. Under or over. I got over 47 as well. I'm gonna say, oh boy. I think we hit the number. So I'm gonna say 47 because I got 30. No, excuse me, scratch that, y'all. I got under 47. Under.
Mhm.
I say 31-6 or something like that. I don't see us like running up the score on this team. We're not gonna have to do. I think put it this
We could
way.
do
I
it by
think
accident.
yeah, they could probably do
What if
if they give
Jacksonville
us
just
a pick
playing that
six.
terrible?
Yeah, if give us a pick six. Yo, but I'm gonna say under, but I agree with you. I think we're gonna beat them by the 13. So I'm gonna say 31. I'm gonna put on record 31-6. That's why I got the Lions winning this week. Yeah, Turner's right. Casey, what's up, Casey? Glad you back with us, man. Appreciate y'all a lot. Yeah, so it's always uh, a turning point in the season. Well, before we get to our other games this week in the prop bets, um, well, it's always Ralphie. What's going on? I It's always a point in the season, okay, where you look at your team, you like, man, they're either not gonna do any, they're not the best, or is other teams better, or we just don't have it. I think last week's game will really just like, and I think Turner put it in his comment. I don't know if you put his comments up. Uh, I think last week's game just like solidified, man. The last two, winning Green Bay in those conditions last week. There you go, bro. Again, here you go. Winning those games in that capacity against the Packers 2 weeks ago, and then winning last week. Just what Turner said in his comments, I totally agree with him. It just shows you, man, that this team is different. They're built different. It's something magical about this season. I don't know what it is.
It's
Just
been a
every
minute since we had a rough stretch, though.
yeah,
That's something I was kind of concerned about. It's been a while since we've been bad. We
yep,
haven't been bad since the first half of year 2 of the
yeah,
rebuild. Like this team hasn't went through like like this core hasn't
yeah,
went through a 3-game losing streak and finger pointing starts
yeah.
and having to galvanize the locker room. I don't want to see us go through that,
No, not
but
this team.
this team is addicted to winning.
Mhm.
Like that's the whole thing. And I think Dan Campbell, he wants the. We talked about the Minnesota game, the last game of the season. I feel like even if this
Yeah,
team has the division wrapped up, they're gonna still want to kick Minnesota in the mouth
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
just
and
because.
I didn't think about that till you said it. So you're right about that. I don't think, like you said, you imagine Dan Campbell coming up to his team saying, "You know what, guys, we ain't let your foot off the gas," or you know what I'm saying.
Right. And
He would never
Minnesota
say
trying to
that.
get in the playoffs.
He would never say that. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know him like personally, but just his mentality on the field as a football coach. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree. So I mean, it's not really any else to really cover with this game. Well, because I think everybody is in green by a show of hands. The Lions gonna win this game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Unless something catastrophic happens, but I don't see any pushback from the Jaguars at all this week. You know.
Yeah. Got it. Got it. All
Um,
right. So let's move on to these other couple games we got here. We're gonna start out with Green Bay and Chicago.
yeah. Oh boy,
System running a little
interesting.
slow this
This is an
morning.
interesting game.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, so
Get through
I'm
it.
gonna I'm gonna throw some numbers out there, and all the listeners can take it for what they take it for, betting wise. We as Lions fans, this is a Packer Bears game. We remove all biases from this. I ran across a stat on this game in this series that was staggering for me, mind-boggling. Since 2009, the Chicago Bears have only beaten the Green Bay Packers 4 times. A divisional opponent. Since 2009, they've only beaten the Packers 4 times. The Packers have covered the spread against the Bears the last 5 meetings. Go with the money. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say right there, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, the
No, that's good. Those
offensive
facts.
coordinator been fired. Offensive coordinator for the Bears, he been tossed out in the street like that hot and ready box every Monday morning before the garbage man come. Um, one thing I will say is this: we have no idea what the hell the Bears are going to look like offensively, and neither do the Packers. But we can expect one thing because a lot of times, you will catch opposing defenses off guard with a brand new offense. That doesn't happen. They didn't go
Yeah.
out and reinvent the wheel offensively over the past 7 days. You can't just change the offense on the fly. You can add new wrinkles to the offense of what it may be, but Packers defense, Packers rushing attack, they can score enough offensively. Do the Packers have their lulls? Of course they have them. But the
Yeah.
Bears have been so bad. Like when I ran across that, like how do you only win 4 games against an divisional opponent approaching 25 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, man.
well close to it. It ain't
You made
25,
me
but
check it.
close enough.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, you're right. Man, I had to go
since
to, yeah,
2009.
my sources. Yep,
They,
you're right,
oh,
Paul. And it's like, when you get into
five
it,
and a
I don't know if
half.
your mic about
What you
five and a
think?
half. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's in Chicago. I think the Packers need this game. They want to stay. Uh, they. I'm disappointed in the Bears. I thought that this was the team. I thought the Bears would really be like this year. All they needed was a quarterback. I fell into that trap. I fell into the DeAndre Swift. Get drafting Roma Dunze, getting Keenan Allen. They already had Cole Kmet. The offensive line was kind of rounded into shape, which ironically is still their Achilles heel. I don't know. I don't get why they're struggling on the offensive line so much. I just think that this team they're in trouble. I think Eberflus. We talked about Peterson losing his job. I think Eberflus is damn sure close on the list too of not making it through the season if they continue to lose. Man, you know what I'm saying? But I trust the Packers more than I do the Bears. You know what I'm saying? And that's not really saying much either because I thought the Packers would be
Of course.
better, but I trust Jordan Love right now. You know what I'm saying? More so than Caleb Williams. You know me. I like the Packers team. Too talented enough. I can see a high scoring game. I think it goes over. I'm gonna say no. I think a field goal is gonna decide this game, Wall. So I'm gonna say they're not gonna win by 5.5. That's damn near 6 points on Chicago's field. In Chicago, they do for whatever it's worth. It's a November game. That win probably. I don't know the weather, so I can't. That weird wind at that Soldier Field right there off the water, Lake Michigan. I've been there. I was there during Christmas time last year. It's something serious, man. When that wind gets going in Chicago, I'm taking Packers though, but I think that it'll go over 40, but under the 5.5. You know what I'm saying? So I like Green Bay. They got a little bit more
Yeah,
talent. I trust the running game more. I trust offense. You know what I'm saying? I think they got a little bit more going for them than the Bears do. So
yeah. I'll go over mainly because not over. Hell no. I got Green Bay winning. I'm gonna take the under,
yeah,
and I'm gonna take the
yeah,
under because I could definitely see Green Bay winning 20-10. That's why I would take Green Bay to cover that 5.5. Um, Chicago, everything is still too offensively ragtag for Caleb. Caleb wants to scramble around when he doesn't have to, even when he has to. The running game isn't getting going. He does seem to have a decent connection right now with Roma Dunze. He has no chemistry with DJ Moore right now. DJ Moore pulls no punches on him not being happy with what's going on right now. DJ Moore is a vet in this league, and right now breaking in a whole new. And I understand why he was positive on Justin Fields last year. Not too many veteran wide receivers who want to win want to be breaking in rookie quarterback after rookie quarterback. So he has no connection with his rookie quarterback. Like I said, Caleb Williams, the run designs, you looking at the play scheme, as far as the passing scheme wise, like everything is off right now with Chicago. And that's why I can't see, even though the game is in Chicago, I can't see Green Bay losing this game, even though it's a divisional game, because I just went through the history of it. The last 5 meetings, Green Bay has covered the spread against the Bears. And
Yeah.
going through head coach after head coach, quarterback after quarterback, and I understand Aaron Rodgers was there in Green Bay for a lot of those years, but to only beat Green Bay 4 times since 2009 is bizarre. History
Yes, it's
speaks
real
volumes in
bizarre. Yeah.
situations like that, man. Said the Bears got
Yeah.
a lot of back going on right now, man. So I'm definitely taking
I don't trust.
the Green Bay Packers in this game. I'll take them to cover that 5.5, and I would definitely under, based off of everything you also
Mhm.
said when in regards to weather during this time of year. Still is a Chicago game. So, anything can
Yeah.
happen in that. How about the money
Yeah.
line?
For sure. Sure. I can see some things. Yeah. The money line,
Minus
obviously,
230
if you want to win
green.
something, yeah. So more of the money's on the Packers, obviously, to win. I would stay away from it. You could have some fun with it though, and put some money on the Bears because obviously you can win a little bit more if you put it on Chicago. But I don't trust Eberflus. I don't trust the coaching. I don't trust anything Chicago's doing right now. That's I can't pick them in that spot. You know what I'm saying? So, but like Casey said, good right. Division rivals. Like you said, man, I didn't realize it was domination like that over the Packers, man. That's crazy. They only got 4 wins in the last 25 meetings. That's pathetic. So yeah. I remember when the
We
Lions were
got
that
what,
team
4
where they
wins over
couldn't beat
Green Bay
the
the
Packers.
last 2 years?
Yep.
No, the
Yep.
last
It's
what? We
been we
got 4
flipped it.
wins
That's what
over
I'm just
Green
gonna
Bay the
mention.
last 3 years. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep. And remember,
Let's laugh at
remember
them.
it we went,
'Cause
yeah,
they
we went 17. Right. Remember what? We went 17, 18 years and we couldn't beat the Packers in Green Bay or something like that. It was something 12,
Yeah.
13 straight seasons we hadn't won a game in Green Bay. So we broke all of those
Well, remember, we didn't
curses
start
and
beating
stuff.
them
Yeah.
until Sue got here.
Yep.
Yeah. Once
Yep.
Sue got
They
here is
would
when we
get them
started beating
problems.
them boys.
So yeah,
Mm.
entertaining game. There's good
Chiefs
games this
Bills.
week. Yeah, love it, man. Oh
So
boy,
what you think?
this the main ingredient right here, man. I'm listen to me. Listen to me real good. Not you, but I'm just saying just as a whole. Buffalo gonna win. Buffalo gonna win, bro. I think this is the week. Kansas City been playing with fire all year, but they good. I'm not saying Kansas City got a good team. You know how I feel about the Chiefs, both sides of the ball. I believe in Buffalo has finally like swayed me to say they a factor, man. Remember, I was like, dude, they need to change the coach, Sean McDermott. It just seems like it's stale. Buffalo just get Josh Allen, which I love Josh Allen, but he just can't win the big game. And ultimately, that was all like kind of false because uh Josh Allen has played good in those marquee games. If you look back, remember that game, the playoff game, he went toe to toe with the Chiefs, which they should have won that game and they didn't. But what I'm saying is, Josh Allen ain't the problem, man. You know what I'm saying? He's finally got a team. I think that he's in full command of this team, man. And is Ken Dorsey still the offensive coordinator? I think with
Hell no.
Buffalo, he's not the offensive. Okay, because I
I
don't
remember he
have it
got
in front of.
fired the middle of last year.
Was it okay? Because that's
Yep.
probably why the reason why he's doing so good. Because I was gonna say, whatever it is, he just seems like a different quarterback now. Like where he trusts his arm, he trusts the routes, he trusts the situations, and I think they're getting better at situational football. And was James Cook has been phenomenal, man. Uh, their offensive line, they drafted Osiris Torrance a couple years ago from Florida, solidified the offensive line in Buffalo. I was wondering what they were going to do with Stephon Diggs left, Gabe Davis. Ironically, he's on the Jaguars right now, Gabe Davis. But
Yeah.
the
Keon
tight end
Coleman,
Dalton Kincaid. Yeah, Keon Coleman has been fantastic, man. I think he might not play this week though. I think they're going to
Amari
miss
Cooper.
him. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep, Amari Cooper. Oh boy, that was probably the best deal of the during the season trade season so far. So having said all that, I just believe this game's in Buffalo. Crowd's gonna be raucous in Orchard Park, man. That's gonna be. I wish I could go to this. It would be a great game to just watch in person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying that my basis on the Chiefs losing is just because while they haven't been Pat Mahomes been a magician this year, but he hasn't been. His stats ain't what it was. I mean, let's be honest. He hasn't had a Pat Mahomes like first half of the season, and I think that I think Isaiah
Yeah.
Pacheco's coming back pretty soon. They are getting some guys back. I just feel in this spot, well, Buffalo gonna win this game, man. Nothing more, nothing less. Chiefs don't have very many weaknesses, but Buffalo at home, I'm giving them the nod. I think it's going to be a shootout game. I don't know if it's like snowing in Buffalo. I don't think so. So without blindly
Hell
knowing
no.
that, I'm going to say it's an over game, and then I'm going to say Buffalo's going to win. I can see a 28-25 game, something like that. Buffalo wins.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I'm glad you picked this game too. I was looking at it yesterday and I was thinking to myself, like, man, like that 2 points right there is deadly. And that 46 is deadly.
Yeah,
Even though the
yeah,
City Chiefs offensively have not been very good, all pretty
yeah,
well, but they've struggled to score. Just to say the least, man. But that defense has been very strong this year. Have the Chiefs been benefiting from some beneficial calls or non-calls from the referees the last couple years, let alone this year? Sure. Have there been about
yeah,
4 games this season that could have easily went against the Chiefs? Yeah, could have been. But at the end of the day, man, they're undefeated. Teams can complain
yeah,
about, the benefit of the doubt the Chiefs get from the referees and the league loves them and this and that. But at the end of the day, as opponents, y'all still the ones that's playing down to this. Y'all the ones that still find yourselves in these 16 to 14 games with the Chiefs, these 21 to 17 games with the Chiefs. Outplay them for 3 quarters. You won't have to deal with that. But it's hard for teams to really
mhm,
outplay the Kansas City Chiefs because they're so sound defensively. They stopped the run,
yeah,
they stopped the
yeah,
pass. Even though they lost Shadarius Ward, they haven't been as good against the pass because you don't lose a corner of his caliber and just pick right up where you left off. But that defense has been elite. That defense has been winning them a lot of games. That defense is what's going to really get them to the playoffs this year. And when you look at Buffalo, and staying on the Chiefs, my question for the Chiefs is this: what do you do when somebody jumps on you? Same question we had for Detroit. Like, what if Buffalo go out there and Buffalo say, "Man, this is our Super Bowl. The hell with this." And
yeah,
the Buffalo Bills, they've had success
yeah,
against the Chiefs. It's not like a situation where it's Bears versus Packers. Like last season, 2024, they did lose 27-24. Oddly enough. 2023, they did beat Kansas City 20-17. 2022, they beat them 24-20. Then you had that epic playoff game back in 2022 where they lost 42-36, but then they beat them back in 2021 38-20. So the Bills know they can do it. Their thing is mentally, can we do it in the playoffs? If Buffs Kansas City tomorrow, would I be shocked? No, because they've beaten them before, judged them before. Their thing is getting their monkey off that back in the playoffs. Can you beat Pat and Andy Reid in the playoffs? So I'm a roll with you. I think Buffalo wins this game. I think Buffalo covers that 2 points. I think Buffalo becomes the first team that's to really jump on Kansas City. I think they're gonna have offensive success against this Chiefs defense.
hmm,
And being the Chiefs offense that just seems to not be able to get out of neutral for the first 2.5 quarters of most of these games. How do you respond how does Patrick respond? How does Andy Reid respond play calling wise when, okay, you down 17-3? Or Buffalo jumps out and Josh is hot and it's 20.
yeah,
What if they jump up on them the way Houston jumped on us, which is 23-7? I'm not sure with
yeah,
what I've seen from this Kansas City Chiefs offense that they can come back from it. They don't seem to be built like that anymore to come back from a deficit like that. Because if
mhm,
Buffalo gets up 23 to
yeah,
7, they're gonna keep shooting.
hmm,
So
yeah,
if it's 23-7 halftime, if Buffalo's up 26-10, something like that halftime, what do they do? Because nobody has actually applied that type of pressure to Andy Reid in Kansas City the last couple of years. They've been so damn good defensively. So that's, like I said, my biggest question. I got Buffalo. I'm going to take the under on that, but I do have
Mhm.
Buffalo winning. I think Buffalo covers that 2 points, and I got Buffalo winning 24, maybe 13.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Facts, facts. It'd be a hell of a game. Yeah, you got our prop bets this week, right?
Yep, got you. Got you. They
Um,
tearing it
you
up
know,
in the
this
comment section, and we appreciate it. There you go,
yeah,
brother.
yeah, there we go. There we go. Listen, don't laugh. Don't laugh at all. I got it's a reason why I got these I picked these this week. Jared Goff, listen, he hasn't thrown for 300 yet this year. I think this is the game to do it. I think the odds, the money's good on this one if it happens. You know what I'm saying? So you need Jared Goff, 300 plus yards, plus 650. That's a nice little hit right there. You know what I'm saying? If Goff can do it, I just feel like we haven't seen him at his best yet. That's why I'm so encouraged because he hasn't really. Remember, he had what 60 yards passing against Tennessee or whatever it was. Remember, he had a couple games where he threw for 150 some yards. You know what I'm saying? But he was in total command of the offense, but it just hasn't commanded him to do a lot. You know what I'm saying? To actually win, put some games on the show, which is the right game plan. But I think every so often during the season, your quarterback would get off and get you a couple 300 yard hits. You know what I'm saying during the season. So this is the game I'm going to pick. Not many more down the line. Maybe against the Bears on Thanksgiving, it might be something there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe against the Colts next week. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we get into a Jared Goff groove here coming up, passing the ball, which I want to start this week. So that's my reason behind it. I just want to see some more passing through the air. I think this is the perfect game to do it. I'll let you comment on the rest of these two. I'm Rod St. Brown, first TD score for the game.
That's
I like
550.
yeah, 550 for St. Brown. Now we've been rolling with Montgomery and Gibbs with this part of the first score because usually the Lions like to start the game and run the football and score the first touchdown running on the ground. I just thought it might be fun since we saying I'm thinking Jared Goff for the 300-yard game. Maybe we try to change it up, switch the game plan, totally ambush the Jaguars and get St. Brown a touchdown to start this game, and just let them know that it's going to be aerial assault this week. So that's my rationale behind that one. And then lastly, Montgomery is weird because Montgomery, he runs with purpose, runs hard, but yet he doesn't really have a game where he has 150 yards rushing, right? Because
Like the
obviously
Charger game from a year ago.
yeah, yep. And in that game, I think he ran one for like 70 for a
Right,
touchdown. But
exactly.
you know what I mean? So Gibbs, we got the perfect mix again. No slight against my guy Ja Gibbs. Love Jameer Gibbs. But I think Montgomery, let's get him 100 yards this week, plus 450. Man, that's damn good odds right there because you figure that Montgomery can get 100 yards. Him and Gibbs both like do it with their eyes closed at this point. Especially Gibbs, but I think Montgomery. Yeah, this is a stat game for him. He's got to get his stats up. He's got, I think, 524 yards or something like that rushing. So let's get him on the plus side, closer to 1,000. Him and Gibbs together. So that's what I pick. You could take it away, Walt, on these and what you think.
Yeah. Jared, it hasn't happened this season. I don't think it's gonna happen today either. Just because, like, mainly this feels like a look, go out here, stay disciplined, stay dedicated to what the scheme is, know your keys, beat this team, get out of here with a win. I don't think they're gonna try to go out there and just throw the ball all over the field against them. Ben Johnson may be tempted to, Like I said, there was a method to his madness last week against Houston. Why they threw the ball so much? I don't think they do it today. You got John Walker out there. You mentioned he's 7.5 sacks. You got Josh Allen. You got Hines out there. You got Chad Muma. They don't want to unnecessarily put Jared Goff in harm's way, I think, in a game like this, which could, some teams will look at it as, okay, yeah, especially wide receivers. So this is a game for us to really eat. We don't want to get
Yeah,
in a situation where we lose a very valuable key player trying to show out when I don't
yeah.
think we necessarily have to. I think they go out there. I think they run the ball early. They run the ball a lot. Uh, David Montgomery, 100 plus yards. That's if he breaks one, if he gets, because all it takes, honestly, is for you as a running back to get 100 plus yards is to get maybe a 25-yard run here.
Yeah,
Maybe he
40.
gets into the
Yeah,
he gets to the second level, breaks a couple tackles. He gets one for 52 yards, 45 yards here and there. Then you're talking about the rest of the game, him having only average like maybe 5, maybe
yeah.
6. But with him splitting so much time with Jameer, what is Jameer's number on 100 yards?
Oh boy, good question, Walt. I want to say I think I had it memorized. I think it was Jameer Gibbs was plus. It was less. I mean,
Yeah,
better odds for Jameer Gibbs to do it. I think it might have been per DraftKings. It might have been 350. Walt, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it in
yeah,
front of me, but I think last night I almost put Jameer Gibbs, but it's like now I kind of expect Gibbs to kind of break one every game. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not for a touchdown every week, but now he's mature enough as a runner. He's just seeing the field way too good right now to Jameer get you a 30-yard run now. You know what I'm saying? Damn near every game. So that's what makes him a big threat. But yeah, I think the odds to win more money, it's Montgomery. That's why,
yeah.
Walt, just what you said. I think that's what the odds makers are thinking. The same thing you just said, because Gibbs is more of a threat, man. Him and Jameson Williams could shatter 100-yard number quick. You know what I mean? Because bam, they
Well,
get the
he's another
ball and
guy that we haven't talked
yeah,
about a lot.
yeah, yeah.
James like James? Where's
So
J-Mo's
hold on,
breakout game?
yeah. Let me spit us some knowledge on some stuff right quick, and I'm gonna look it up real quick here through DraftKings. That I'm faithful to DraftKings. I don't go to
Yeah.
nobody else. Hold on here. Let me
No,
just I
I
gotta
just
go
think
back
that
into it.
J-Mo, we talked about it for the past year and a half. When was we gonna
Hmm.
see the Jameer Gibbs that we saw at Alabama? Once he
Hmm.
figured it out, it was gonna be over with.
Yeah,
People got a taste of that against Tennessee a few weeks ago.
yeah,
And we're still waiting for J-Mo to have that Alabama J-Mo that game where
yep,
we talking about what? 6 catches for 215. Like
yeah. He can
the
do it though.
ability
I'm
is
saying,
there.
yeah.
We waiting on J-Mo to have that game. Could this game be it? Could the Colt game be it? I think
Uh,
once we get that one big breakout game for him, because has he even had a 100-yard game
yeah,
in his
he's had
career?
one. Yeah, oh yeah, yep. I think
But
against
it
the game we
seemed like
went
it's
to,
been so.
I think we played Seattle. Walt, he had 100 yards and now over 100. Remember, he scored the one
That's
long
right, because
touchdown.
he had the one with the 70-yard touchdown.
Yeah, he had one
He had the
against.
one.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to okay. Well, according to DraftKings, Jameer Gibbs, 100 plus is plus 250. Sorry, I was wrong. So that's
Yeah,
100 yards
yeah.
rushing plus 250 for Jameer Gibbs. Okay, you go to
Eh.
receiving. That's not too bad. Not too bad odds. Oddly enough, you know who they got as a kind of a good pickup here. They got 70 plus yards for Brian Thomas Jr. tomorrow. Well, plus 235 for Brian Thomas. I really like Brian Thomas. I don't know if he'd be unless
Mm-mm.
they might try to this another thing. They may okay, looking at the odds on this, right? Okay, so they're thinking Brian Thomas gonna be a focal point of the game tomorrow. Maybe this is a Terran Arnold interception game because they might try to pick on Terran
Uh
Arnold tomorrow. You think
Alabama
Mac
versus
Jones?
LSU.
Yeah.
Hell
Hey,
no.
you think
Mac.
Mac Jones?
Hell
you think
no. You think Jacksonville gonna be, man, what the hell do we got to lose? Mac, show him
yeah,
what you got.
show them what you got. Right.
Pick. Kirby
Okay.
Joseph, pick. Brian Branch, pick. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's do
yeah.
it.
Okay. Jameson Williams. Wow, look at this. 100 plus yards tomorrow. Comes out plus 850 at
Woo!
100 yards.
I take it.
Ray, you take that one? Wow.
I take it.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
I take
Because
it.
even at 50 yards plus is 115 plus 115. But yeah, if you want to get a big hit, all you gotta do is get JMO gotta get you 100 yards, bro. He can do that. If Goff gets you 300, JMO, trust me, if Goff get 300, JMO getting 100. You know what I'm saying? So
99-yard touchdown catch.
yeah,
And
yep.
then,
That's
and then he
plus.
don't get another catch the rest of the game. I'll be so pissed off, man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Evan.
J-Mo is positive. I mean, I would take it because I like the when it come down to it, I do like the return on it. We talked about the Joe Mixon prop bet last week, which was what it was
Mhm.
plus 550 for Joe
Yeah.
Mixon to score the first touchdown of the
Scored
game. I
first
like that
touchdown.
too. But we
Yeah.
both was talking about the St. Brown. J-Mo plus 750
No, plus
or plus 7
850.
plus
850.
850.
Yep. For
Broken
100.
tubing.
Yeah.
Casey, y'all taking that? I mean, listen,
yeah.
plus 850. I'll take a flyer on J-Mo to crack 100 yards. I'll take that because I do think they're going to give in games like this. They try to. That's why I was so pissed off. J-Mo didn't play against Tennessee. That was his opportunity to eat.
Yeah, to
When
eat.
we get
Yep.
games like this, Ben Johnson will give everybody the opportunity to eat. That's what I
I'm
like about
telling
him
you.
as an OC. All
And
right, we got
me,
Jacksonville coming in. St. Brown, we're gonna make sure you get another touchdown.
that's right.
Gibbs,
That's right.
you're gonna get your 12 carries. Montgomery, you might get 17, or it might be flip-flop. Laporte is not playing. Laporte's not playing, but now J-Mo's here. J-Mo could have really ate against Tennessee, he wasn't there. They're gonna try to get him his opportunities. And we talked about the Houston game last week. The trust they showed to him with those 2 throws they threw to him. Well,
Yeah.
that's Jared Goff for that matter. They're building more and more trust with him too. Broken Tubin said, yeah, 40. See?
Okay, so
See?
we got one for Jameson Williams. Okay. Hey, check this out. Now I went a little bit deeper here. Receptions, over and under on receptions. Okay. This is the big play threat of Jameson Williams. Now we just said Jameson Williams, 100 plus yards, plus 650. Now, okay, you go to receiving receptions, over and under on receive. This will tell the story right here. Over and under 2.5 receptions for him in that game. So is minus 175. Under 2.5 is plus 135. So what I'm essentially what it seems like is this that one big hit, that 180-yard touchdown. You know what I'm saying, that he could have to get him there. So they think DraftKings seems to think that he can maybe get it under 3 catches, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? That shows you the big playability.
Video game J-Mo.
Because Gabe Davis is the same thing on here. Gabe Davis is under 2.5 at plus 115. You know what I mean, for receptions. So
yeah, I think J-Mo can get 3 catches.
Yeah,
and he had 3 last week.
Yep, 3 for 53 yards against Houston last week. What about Travis Etienne? I like Travis. 60 yards rushing, which has been hard to run on. What Mixon have? Didn't Mixon? He had
Mixon had 23 carries for 53. It was something. He ain't cracked 60 because remember he scored that first touchdown.
Yeah, he didn't even get 60 yards, bro. That was It was like I thought it was like
he only averaged 2 yards a carry.
2 yards a carry.
1.84. Yep.
So they got Travis Etienne at 60 yards plus 120 for Travis Etienne this week.
What's up, Mark? Mark said that's crazy.
Yeah. So man, I like to have fun with these. It's super fun. Let's see, just for giggles. What about Mac Jones? They got Mac Jones, 200 yards plus 200 yards passing or over plus 140 for Mac Jones this week. So they seem to think it's going to be under 200 yards passing for Mac Jones this week. That's the consensus because plus 175 plus is minus 145. So they're real strong in saying that he's probably going to have under 200 yards. That's the consensus. And then Jared Goff plus Broken Tubi hit me over the head with a garbage can this morning about my last week. I had Jared Goff with 3 touchdowns. I think it was something crazy. This week is passing touchdowns. Jared Goff 3+ for plus 295 this week for 3 touchdowns plus. So
Well, bringing up last week, think about
mhm.
the people. I forgot what was it for C.J. Stroud to notch
uh
3 touchdown passes.
oh boy, I had my
It
notes. I
was a
just
good number,
yeah, it was a
and
good number.
it
Yep,
was a
and
good
they didn't
number. And
get it.
think taking that bet.
Hmm.
That team
Yeah,
was up 23-7. There's no way in hell if I would have took that bet, you would have told me that he wouldn't have cracked 3 touchdowns, and he
yeah.
didn't.
Didn't get it. You know what I'm
So
saying? I mean, that's crazy. That's just crazy to me. And then before we get out of here, just some other fun ones here. Because this week, okay, this is really the first touchdown scorer. Okay, remember I've been picking Montgomery or Gibbs every week. So this week is David Montgomery plus 295 and Jameer Gibbs plus 425. And then you got J-Mo and Amon-Ra St. Brown at 550. I chose St. Brown, but Jameson Williams was plus 550 as well. No, I take that back. 850. Jameson Williams is 850, and Travis Etienne is plus 1,000. First
Kirby
touchdown.
Joseph is plus 1,500.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
plus
I don't
15.
know what it is, but I did wonder what the numbers was like that for the
Let's
defensive
see.
players, at
Defensive
least for this
props. Let's
game.
go.
Aleem
Sacks.
McNeil, scoop
Yes,
return.
yeah, there we go. Sacks Lee McNeil. The number Walter given is under. I never seen this before. Over and under 0.25. So I don't know how the hell you can have a quarter of a sack, but that's the number. Nah, that is not good. Let's see here. Solo tackles. What about safety sacks? Turnover. Here we go. Turnovers. Total turnovers in the game under 2.5 minus 115. That ain't a good bet. Yeah, they don't have those scenarios, at least with DraftKings. Maybe some other ones do, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, because they do have draft scenarios where you can say touchdown scored by a fumble or pick six or something like that. I don't have it on here. What about halves? Okay, here we go. Money line, first half. Okay, here we go. Money line over. Sorry, total first half points. Here we go. Jaguars, Lions, total first half points under 23.5 is the number, and it's minus
Mm.
118 for Detroit. I'm sorry, minus 118 for the Jaguars, minus 102 for the Lions. So let's just say we got a 14-10 ball game at a half or something like that, then you would win
Sixteen
that
to
number.
six.
16-6. Yeah, you'd be under that number if you want to bet that. So yeah, it's fun, man. I love to just go through these and just see. Well, and then sometimes, man, you might need Gibbs to get. I remember Gibbs last year. I had a game and all I needed like for a parlay was to Gibbs to get 40 receiving yards or something like that. And Gibbs got like 37. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I would have had my parlay. You know what I mean? So it's fun to just have some fun with it. Right now, we at this point of this season where I'm looking at stats, and we had to close the show out today. Well, I'm looking at I want our offense. I want to see our offense just be crisp, man. You know what I'm saying? Just be decisive in the passing game. We know we bring in the table running the football. We know we can do that. You know what I'm saying? But like you said too, you might play it. I don't think the Lions are playing it like you said. Don't get nobody hurt and just run the ball, and ultimately we win. And that's a perfect game plan too. But I want to just see us try some things, in the passing game, some new routes, or just don't be afraid to put the ball up in the air. Good things happen when you got Jameson Williams
50
catching
pass
ball.
attempts for Jay
No,
for
not no,
for
no, not that. No, no, no. I want this game to
Lions
be
lose
over.
20-15.
Yeah, I want it to be over in the fourth quarter. I wanted this game to be over. You know what I'm saying? With no doubt. We already
Yeah.
up and there's no coming back. So
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that
yeah.
settles it. You and I, along with everybody in the comment section, I'm pretty sure majority of Lions Nation out there has the Detroit Lions winning this game this weekend, tomorrow
Yeah.
afternoon, early tomorrow afternoon, and winning it easy. Now, whether or not the game unfolds to become that, we don't know.
Yeah.
That's part of the game. That's why we love NFL football, because sometimes you just never know. But for the most part, you and I are both taking the over. in this situation. We both believe that Detroit almost by themselves. Well, actually, no, you took the under on this. You took the under
Uh-huh.
on this game. I took the over. And I did say that I had Detroit covering that 13 and a half. I view this as a game that's, can you try out some new things? Sure, you could do that. But for the most
Mhm.
part, you want to make sure you get out of it healthy. Um, you have a successful game plan on both sides of the football. And you tune up a little bit. This got to be a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
tune-up game. It's a tune-up fight. That's all it is, man. We got the Colts coming up, and then we got Bears coming up. So we want to
yeah.
make sure these next 3 weeks, if we can put the Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles way in our rearview mirror. I think that's what
That's
we
right.
have to be focused on right now, man, with this team being 8-1. So thanks you for everybody joining us this Saturday morning. As usual, we love having y'all. We love being able
Yeah,
to help y'all with
appreciate
all
it.
y'all bet needs
Yeah, put that
and
up,
our
Walt.
team.
Broken Tubing just gave me some. Hey, he been on my head all year so far. I've been wrong more than I've been right. So he said, I'm glad to hear that, Broken Tubing. I mean, you, Casey,
What are you talking
Turner,
about? I'm
appreciate
not
y'all today.
encouraging anyone to bet
Yeah,
anything. But Ashanti said Monty first touchdown a few weeks ago. Did put 400 on it and won big. Man, you got the money to put 400. You good.
yeah,
You
you
good.
good,
You
you good,
good.
good. I like to hear that. Love it, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Mom Marcus says, good show, guys. One pride here in Northern Lower. What's going on,
Yeah,
man?
what's going
Appreciate
on,
you.
Mile Marker? Appreciate you, man. Turner, appreciate you. A Dub, Ralphie, all your guys, man. Appreciate every time y'all, Mark Martin, everybody who comments, we appreciate y'all a lot. Seriously, I enjoy doing, we enjoy doing it. You know what I'm saying? You get to in these grooves with these shows, and then we've been on the air now for like 4 years. We've been kind of like chugging away at this, and Casey was one of our first watchers walk, back when we had the Avenue
Broken
days.
tubing.
Yeah, broken tubing that they cut our channel. So hopefully, we put some good
Before
stuff out there.
YouTube walked in my basement and knocked over my laptop with a bat,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ransacked the place. Yep, yep,
kicked my pup.
yep. Took your hard drive and just yep. They had you tied up, and they had two guys holding you, and you had to watch them take your stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah,
Pour Kool-Aid all over my laptop. Oh man, they did us
yeah,
bold, man. They did us bold, but at the end of the day, they did us a favor. They did us
yeah,
a favor. We grind and trying to get back to that. They shut us down at 523, which was crazy.
yeah,
523 subscribers. So we're working to get back to that. Hopefully, we be at 1,000 prior to
yeah,
next season.
yeah.
Hopefully, the
We got.
NFL draft season will get us close to that. So,
And then, Walt,
yep.
just real quick before they tell the people we got draft stuff coming up. I know people like to hear. I've heard
Oh
people come to
yeah.
me. They like the draft talk. I mean, the line's been so good, we haven't really had to really focus on the draft. But um, I really I think this draft everybody's gonna love it because there's some players out there to be had. I love the scouting of the players, man. And I told you, well, I got my list. Now I haven't said nothing about it, but I got my list of guys here. You know what I'm saying? And this week, college football, I would just encourage everybody. Look, I'm looking at offensive linemen. I'm just telling y'all right now. I'm looking at some linemen. I won't, maybe another linebacker, in the future, you know what I'm saying, coming up. Another lineman that we can groom, man. You know what I'm saying? We are that room, we got to get it a little bit stronger, because Frank, Taylor Decker, those guys, still playing good ball at this point, but we still got to kind of replenish that spot. So
Yeah.
appreciate it.
So everybody that's listening will be Thanksgiving week. Everybody
Yeah,
got some time off. We got college football that Friday morning, actually.
yeah,
And afternoon, we got college football all day Friday. So
yeah,
week of Thanksgiving, we'll start getting into some of the needs of this team. Is obvious, even though this team is 8-1. Hopefully, after this week, they'll be 9-1. Um,
yeah.
Team still has needs. Every team in this league has needs. Kansas City Chiefs has needs. We have needs. So just to get you guys started, familiar with what's going on, we can go through free agency real quick. Look at some of the names we got coming up. Some of the guys that'll be brought back. Some guys that may be pricing us out. Because at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
you can't keep everybody. And we're gonna look at some of those position groups that may need to be filled. You mentioned offensive line. I think offensive tackle is a position. I do think the interior of the offensive line, in regards to getting somebody that could play guard as well as center, is very key for us. Safety is a position that's going to have to be addressed because you're going to have to pay two safeties big time money. You could potentially lose a Melifonwu this offseason. Things just change. The roster is never the same. So, and of course, edge rusher, defensive
Yeah.
end, pure edge
Yep.
rusher. Those are two position groups that are going to need to be addressed. So, just giving y'all some different content. Week of Thanksgiving, everybody's off work. We all home chilling, eating good. We on YouTube. We on social media. We watching
Yeah.
football. Why not tune
Yeah. Have
in
some.
and
Yeah.
have
Have
an
some
open
fun. Yeah.
discussion on the NFL
Yeah. Have
draft?
some
Y'all,
fun, man.
y'all fans? Yep, y'all
Yeah.
fans. We know y'all into the NFL draft as much as we are, and we love the fact that y'all actually have football knowledge and y'all chime in the comment section, and you guys provide very valuable information. And like I said, we really appreciate you guys for it. So till next time, man, one pride. Enjoy y'all Saturday.